All right, we're back.
Whoa!
Hey.
Hello!
Okay, episode 3, we're back. I'm going to close my door and back. I mean, it doesn't matter. No one's looking.
Yeah, exactly. No one's watching this. We're yelling into a void. I decided to wait until we started recording to do the trashiest thing that I thought possible.
That's right. People thought we were low budget in the first two.
Right.
We got glasses.
We got glasses and ice. And ice.
That's right. From my fridge has its own ice machine. I'm doing pretty well.
Whoa. Hello.
I'm doing pretty well.
IRS audit this guy. Clearly, he hasn't paid taxes in years.
That would be the poorest thing to do.
Wouldn't that be? Yeah.
The lowest. You're like, they find out you've been evading your taxes, and they're like, "What have you been doing with the money?"
Bought an ice machine.
You're like, "I threw it in an LG." They're like a TV.
You're just cracking the, and you're like, I don't know. You know, it's you know, who can remember? Who can remember where all that money went to?
They come to arrest you at your house, and you're like, "Officers, would anyone care for an ice cold water at a time like this? Would anyone care for that?
A daiquiri, perhaps? Just the blenders going."
I'd offer you a LaCroix, but oh, wait a second, they are chilled. It's good. It's an LG.
I keep them in the ice pile.
Oh, Red Bull does not look good. It doesn't look good for you.
It doesn't. Nothing about. I guess the packaging looks nice, right? That's why I keep going back to it. It's label out Red Bull. Hey, sponsor.
No, put them away. They're not advertising. Put them away.
Free ad for Red Bull. Yeah, not all of it would just say in like a lineup of like the least healthy sodas, and you just picked one out. I think I would go this next to Gatorade.
You're saying red. First of all, neither of those are sodas.
Well, this is carbonated.
I guess technically
you can't say an energy drink isn't basically a soda.
I would say it's not a soda.
What would you call it? You wouldn't just call it.
I would call it an energy drink. I think energy drinks are their own separate entity.
Okay. All right.
I'll say it's a soft drink.
Okay, soft drink. Yes,
I'll
soft
say
drink.
it's a soft
Would you
drink.
say Gatorade's a soft drink?
Technically. I found out like a year ago, soft drinks are just drinks without liquor.
So like water?
Technically a soft drink.
Doesn't
that blow your fucking mind?
That's so stupid. That's whoever did that was so okay, so like hard drink, soft drink. That's where that comes from.
Yeah.
I guess I never thought about it.
I never thought of it that way, but it does make sense.
Yeah, soft I guess for some reason implied like sugar. I don't know why. I guess the S.
Okay. Wasn't the reason
sugar.
Why I would say, but sure.
Public education, baby.
Hey.
you ever just have things that you're just like, you at one point 20 years ago you took a crack at it and you're just like, that's fine. We don't ever need to think of it. Like soft drink, sugar, go.
Oh yeah. In my head, all TV game shows, they give out all their money because they write it off as charity. I heard that when I was 9 years old.
That's great.
That's
so great.
This is something you could easily look up, and I've just never bothered to do the research into it. I just like to have faith that ABC and Fox are good people, and that's all the money they're writing off as charity.
Don't churches do stuff like that too, right?
Churches don't pay taxes. They're the opposite.
Do they consider themselves a charity?
Yeah.
Okay. They should run
That's a whole
They
issue.
should run more game shows. God is right. And it's Bob Barker. And he's just asking.
The Catholic Church does run a game show. It's called Come Here.
Come here. It's like John. You take a guess as to what Bible verse it is, and somebody goes John 2:16, and then somebody else goes John 2:15, and then
just playing.
Just one on one.
They're playing Price is Right with Bible verses. Yeah. I thought they would play like Who's in My Mouth. That's more of a Catholic.
I'm not familiar with that. I'm not familiar with that one.
Because your brain blocked it out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, I'm a Episcopalian, so I don't know. I don't.
Yeah,
really.
He doesn't eat fish.
Yeah, exactly. Jokes.
Bits. Speaking of which, you know what happened today in my apartment?
What happened?
My roommate comes out of his room and he goes, in the past 3 days, I've eaten exactly 19 cherries. And I was like, oh, that's That's weird. Who
Did
knew?
he count the pits? Did he count the pits on his
Pitchwork.
bedside table?
Yes. No, he counted he just counted each cherry. He counted each cherry one by one. And he's like, I ate 19 cherries. And I was like, oh, okay. So I guess cherries cause autism. That's what I guess. That's what I think he's pitching here to me. Are you saying cherries cause autism? I'm trying to make him eat 19 cherries for a full week. And I hope he could draw every state flag. That's what I'm hoping.
I'm picturing you walk in one day and he's named all 19 cherry pits. Like you're like, he's less autistic. He just needs friends. He's just like, I made 19 new friends today.
He's like, yeah, I'm not autistic. I have Asperger's. And you're like, no, those are the same. He's like, it's off the spectrum. Like he becomes an autistic expert all of a sudden.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't know this is what cherries do to people. I thought that's vaccines.
Yeah, exactly. Move over, anti-vaxxers. It's the anti-cherry people who are like, keep those away from my kids. Not this time. Big cherry.
Yo, those people are wild.
Anti-vaxxers?
Anti-vaxxers are crazy.
Yeah.
We had a kid in my school. He was severely autistic. He had like a teacher's aide.
Okay.
And the teacher's aide had to make sure he only drank Fiji water. And he was only allowed to have like a certain type of granola bar. I forgot I think a Chewy bar. It's because his mom said all the other foods have GMOs and GMOs cause autism.
But he was already autistic.
I was in the 7th grade. I wasn't someone to step out and be like, excuse me, I have a public health policy to declare. If you have time. 7th grade was also the age where I wore a hockey jersey every day to school from September to June. I was in no position to say, excuse me 1 second.
Yeah, exactly. There, you'd step in and be like, hey, listen, I think he already has autism. And he'd be like, get the fuck out of here, hockey gear. Like, don't you have a what do you call that? What's the young version of Pee-wee? Is it Pee-wee?
Oh, yeah. Well, they got Pee-wee hockey. They have a lot. They have an age called midgets, which...
I'm
surprised no one's saying cancel USA hockey.
We should really... Hey... Viewers, get on that. All 12 of you, let's write a letter, strongly worded letter to
USA
NHL?
Hockey. The USA Hockey, the whole country from the ages of 16 to 17, you're considered a midget to USA Hockey.
16 to 17?
16 to 17.
That is not the age group that I would peg the midget. I don't feel comfortable saying it. No. I know that it's okay. I mean, it's okay that's what they keep calling it, but I'm just like, oh, midgets. Huh?
It's God, like
it just doesn't sound good coming out.
It's like mini Pee-wee, bantam, squirt midget, something like that, or squirt bantam. Yeah, squirt's in there.
Ew.
I could be wrong.
Ew.
I could be wrong. Oh, also redactions from last week.
All right, redactions.
Fuck, my phone's over there. My phone's recording this. Fuck.
Yeah,
I already had the redaction.
What do you got?
What's
your redactions?
First off, I like to call back the comments made about Alexander Hamilton and Burr, how they announced their duel.
Yeah.
They didn't do it in person, apparently. They did it through writing.
Of course they did.
Right.
Yeah. Because what's he going to do? He's going to walk like 70 blocks. I don't know. New York. They're all both in New York.
They crossed the river to do the shooting.
Yeah, but that's once once plans are made. Like, could you imagine walking to somebody's house like 70 blocks and then they're just not home? You got to write a letter anyway. You got to write a note for them.
Well, if you're that mad at someone and you want to duel them that bad, a letter took 14 days to get there.
I think
you would imagine.
If you're going to go that way, he was just going to murder Alexander Hamilton.
Right.
If he's angry enough to walk 70 blocks, he's just like, I'm just going to get this over with. Why are we going to wait another day?
Right, and then because I looked up the duel, like facts about the duel, which I was right about most of it.
Why wouldn't you just watch Hamilton? Why wouldn't you just watch it?
Because I don't have Disney Plus here. Oh, I would have to go back to Long Island.
I'll give you Disney Plus.
You'll give me Disney Plus?
I'll give you Disney.
Oh, you're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm not ice in my freezer. Ice machine. I'm not ice machine rich, but
right. You still have fucking ice cube trays, you poor bitch. Okay, this is the sentence I thought was funny.
Okay.
From the Wikipedia. Yeah. Well, this is a redaction. So I was right about the location.
Okay.
But the reason, which also we got right, it's to do with the laws. Well, I was like, why didn't they do it in New York instead of New Jersey?
It's the laws.
Yeah. So
that's so funny. There should be a sign out. There should have been a sign out in front of New Jersey, be like, duel here.
So this is the sentence. It says, dueling had been prohibited in both New York and New Jersey, but Hamilton and Burr agreed to go to Weehawken because New Jersey was not as aggressive as New York in prosecuting dueling participants. Which, I think that was the law until Sopranos was made.
Then they increased it?
And then they were like, you know what? We're getting out of hand with this. The Senate of New Jersey was like, is this fucking going on here?
This is still happening? What?
Like, this is a reality show, right? This is what Sopranos is, because the fucking Sopranos family? Is that what you're talking? We can't have this shit going on.
I pictured it. He was in waste disposal, right? Tony Soprano?
I believe so.
Waste management?
I believe so.
I pictured that same guy walking to his front yard every day and just side-eyeing his trash man for like years. He's just like, he just believes it's all real. He's just, fuck are you looking at? I don't want any trouble.
Pretty good truck they got right there. They got a pretty good budget over there by the HBOs. Fucking HBOs over there. I love that shit. I love that and the Real Sex. You watch the Real Sex? I love that shit.
What, Backseat Confessionals?
Oh, Backseat Confessionals.
Oh, Backseat Confessionals,
Backseat Confessionals. They say whatever the
talking
fuck
dirty
they
in the
want.
back of a cab, huh?
Oh my God, I'm taking cabs. I'm just saying whatever I want back there. No
Sex,
cameras yet.
Sex in the City. I watched Sopranos and only the sex things in the 90s.
Yeah, I like Sex in the City, except for the Sarah Jessica Parker. You know, I like Jews, but as the lead, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Can you just
Not for me.
Can we just clarify what character you're doing right now?
That's his New Jersey senator.
Who's like Gabby, who's like very just like who loves the gab.
He's just like, listen,
He loves to recap his television that he watches in the late 90s, early 2000s.
he doesn't like to do anything at the Senate. At like the Senate house, he just does it outside of a deli in his hometown. There's just a bunch of microphones in front of him. He's like, listen,
He's the founder of podcasts. He's the first podcast.
He's just sitting there with a cappuccino, and he's like, honestly, I don't have any of the Splenda shit.
Yeah.
I don't have any of that.
Listen, let's talk the HBO shows that we watch today in 2002. This second season of The Wire. I don't know where it's going, you know?
I like The Wire. It's not here, right?
Yeah.
Tell me it's in Baltimore's.
It is in
Tell
Baltimore.
me it's in Baltimore.
It is
All right.
Baltimore. Yeah, I can't.
Good.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was in Trenton, I'll be honest with you. I couldn't tell the difference there. But it is in the Baltimores, right? Okay.
The Baltimore.
It's in the Baltimore. I like that shit.
I like that. Yeah. Cops, right? Just has a very loose understanding of what it's about. Yeah, cops, right? Heroin. Okay, I get it.
A lot of fucking people have broken turn signals out there. Can you check my car?
Yeah.
Can you check my car for the turn signal out there? Because I watch cops every day. They've always got the broken turn. Ends up they have 42 pounds of coke in the car. I didn't know that's what it led to.
Yeah, exactly. It's you get the broken tail light first, and then you have 40 pounds of cocaine in your car. He's like, hey, I gotta fix that tail light. I don't want 40 pounds of cocaine in the back of my car.
That would be good. That's what I based all my law education on. If I went to law school from after high school, and they're like, how do you think coke is distributed in the U.S.? I'd be like, oh, through broken taillights. That's clearly what it is.
You find a guy. That's why they're so serious about it. Is
Right.
that if you find a guy with a broken taillight, studies show he's more likely to have 40 pounds of cocaine in the backseat. That's textbook. That's textbook law enforcement.
Right. That's what people are like, no, police shouldn't be able to search you for a broken taillight. And I'm like, well, if you've watched any episode of Cops,
Right.
there's 70 pounds of heroin in those cars.
And an old-timey thing of dynamite and a crossbow. That's studies have shown that's exactly what they're going to find in the trunk of your car with the taillight.
Who knew any of this?
I don't know. Cops knew. That's how I learned it.
It's always like they'll pull someone over. They're like, yeah, you didn't turn on your turn signal. And they were like, oh, sorry, I'll do it next time. They're like, okay. Are those 4 open beers in your car? And the guy's just like, oh, seems to be. Seems to be 4 open beers in my car, officer. He's like, have you been drinking those? He goes, I can't comment. Like, no one,
he doesn't know I plead the fifth. He's like, I cannot comment.
Right, no one ever says plead the fifth on Cops. They very well could plead the fifth, but no one has said.
But
they're like, I can't comment on the open beers. They're like, you have. Do you have red lips? He's like, sir, I might have had a Bahama Mama before entering the vehicle. I might have had a few Bahama Mamas.
Now, setting aside that Cops was canceled for very good reasons, and it should not have been on the air, arguably in the first place. My favorite part of watching it growing up was when they would like pull over a guy and the guy would talk to the cop as if he didn't know him, and then the cop would go, "Hey Henry, how's it going?" Like this is like the 70s. Even beforehand, they're like, we pull this guy over every single day, and then they're like, "Hey Henry, what's going on?" And he's like, "Hello, officer. How are you today?" Just visibly, just drunk asshole, and they're just like, "All right, man, we're gonna take it." He's like, "Okay, officer." He's like, "All right, Henry, get in the fucking car."
Henry, yeah, we have a warrant for your arrest. He goes, "What? Oh, what? What did I do? What did I do now?
What?"
So like, yeah, you haven't shown up to court the 19 times I've arrested you.
or the occasions where like they'll arrest a guy and he's just like, "Okay, I get it." He doesn't fight him at all. They just explain it to him, and they just explain it to the guy, and he's like, "Okay, yeah, that makes sense."
When they get the guy who's been like driving drunk, they're like, "Have you done any drugs tonight?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I've been doing drugs."
Listen, between you and me, yes.
So you're going to jail tonight, and he's like, "And I should,
and I should
be going to
and
jail,
and I should." Yeah, and. Thank you for your help tonight, officer. Oh, no, I guess that I was gonna talk about. So I told you that I was trying to revel over here, right? Today, I was trying to take the Revel scooter. Uber. I couldn't risk what happened last week. I could not risk another Florida hurricane storm front conversation. I could not risk it. Plus, it was $30 to get,
which is bananas.
Which is insane. $30 there back. So I took a Revel scooter. I can't take it across the Williamsburg Bridge. I'm in Brooklyn. Rich is in Manhattan.
Yep.
He's doing well for himself.
Well, don't sell yourself short there. You got Disney Plus.
No, listen. Hold on. I think I hear the ice machine rattling. I could take the Revel to Williamsburg Bridge. You cannot cross the bridge. And then I had to get off, and then I had to walk across the bridge. And then
You sound like a boomer describing how they got to school.
Absolutely. Yes. And that's actually pretty astute, because then the school part, because I get across and then Revel stops working and I can't get access to my scooter. So I've gone I'm 45 minutes in. Revel is not working, so I'm just pouting in the street, just pacing back and forth, just like screaming on my phone, just like, why isn't this working? And then I just called Uber, and then I took an Uber over here anyway.
How much was it?
$15.
Okay.
I mean,
not great, but
saved myself. Bad. I guess I did an hour, basically an hour worth of commuting to save myself $15. Yeah. I don't know. Is that worth it? I don't know.
Listen. To me,
but
I'm throwing money around the streets like I'm Mr. Moneybags over here. I had Italian food delivered last night.
What'd you get?
The restaurant's in my building. Fuck you. I don't give a shit.
What?
No, I'm kidding.
I was gonna say.
Imagine that's some fuck you money.
That is
some fuck you money.
Fuck you money. That's like we've got a bowl. We got a bowl of spaghetti here that you made me get an elevator for and bring to you. I could also picture them just having the rolly cart with like the room service.
The dumbwaiter.
Waiter. Yeah, or the room service where they like wheel it out to your door.
Yes.
I can picture your apartment functioning like. Well, I mean, they'd have
to be functional. The staff. So I'm not. You can look up where I live. You can't look up where I live, but message me. I'll tell you this place sucks.
I like that I have to say what apartment I'm going to every single time I come in here. I mean, I get it. It's a security thing, but it's just funny because
you could just walk by. It's just
I was
thinking
person. About it, but like I don't want to be the guy who's like causing a scene in a pandemic in your building.
No one gives a shit. No one. I ordered food last week. They didn't call me that it was here because the delivery guy can't come up anymore because that'll give.
Oh, you gotta go down.
They just put it at the front, but they forgot to call me, so I had to go down an hour later and be like, "Did my lamb sog come?"
Indian food. That's nice.
And I
Fair.
get lamb sog because of you.
Wow.
Yeah.
This was all worth it. Just to get that validation on recording, double recorded. Rich eats Indian food sog because of me.
Yep.
That's it.
100%.
There it is. I should have.
Yeah, I thought you were about to break down into tears there.
Oh, so proud. I will say that when the Uber picked me up to come to your place, I really did feel like a school child being picked up from school. like I was like trying to do it on my own. I was trying to be like a strong, independent kid who's like, I could get home from school by myself. And then by the time I was like, can you come pick me up? I said I didn't need you, but I need you.
I'm hot and sweaty, and I don't want to do this anymore.
I'm really hungry. Can you have like some crackers? Oh, you don't do that anymore? Okay, that's fine.
Do you have a water? No? Okay. 3 stars.
I'll sit in my mask. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, the optics on me walking into your building, just, describing me would be a masked stranger walked into the building.
But they don't know who actually lives here.
I know, but it's like, that's not a great...
Usually it's not a great thing, but if they were like a mass stranger walked into the building and they're like, okay, can you describe him further?
Yeah.
They'd say, yes. He had a Rick and Morty hat or pins. We couldn't really tell.
Listen, for the record, this is a very special mashup pin collection that I'm building, which is a mashup of Dragon Ball Z and King of the Hill.
Oh, it is Dragon. Oh, that's not. I thought it was Rick and Morty.
That's Bobby Hill as Trunks. And that is Dale Dribble as Cell. That is huge.
Yeah.
That's a huge deal for me. That means
I'm
nothing
sure,
to so many people.
I'm sure whoever served you your fucking matcha in the morning in fucking Brooklyn knows the difference.
I don't know what to say.
You're like, they did know the difference, and
they did not.
They were very complimentary on this.
And I was very upset. No one has complimented me on it, but I like it, so I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, and a Fleetwood Mac T-shirt.
What album? Rumors.
Rumors. You better believe it's rumors. Are you kidding me? Thunder only happens when it's raining. I was gonna say, this is like, if you were to say, like, what's your like ideal outfit? This is it. Yeah, I'm living it. I'm living it right now. It's a hat with 2 pins that I really like. I've got my Fleetwood Mac Rumors t-shirt, which I got for my birthday. And then I've got a pair of shorts that are already sort of dirty. Like, they've got some stains already on it, and I've been wearing them for like,
I was going to wear the same exact shorts, but in green.
It's a great shorts. Shar over quarantine has bought me a second pair of these
corduroy shorts.
Corduroy shorts.
Yeah, you can't really wear them when it's hot.
But
they're
beg to
nice.
differ. I beg to differ.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I pick up heat as much as I don't notice it as much. But anyway, this is, like already kind of stained pants. So like, I don't have to worry about like getting them dirty because they're already like, these are just fuck around pants,
Right.
Yeah,
these are just my banging around pants, just when I'm out there doing danger.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm out there in my corduroy shorts.
Yeah, when I'm out walking across the Williamsburg Bridge, I like to feel confident in my corduroy shorts that I'm wearing. Boy, this is derailed quick. Yeah,
you called me and you said, let's try to do an hour and a half. And I said, let's try to do 15 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is going to be a 2-part episode, and we're just going to pick up next week. All right. What have you been watching? Because that's
this is the other thing I wrote down last night because I'm nervous about what we're going to talk about because you can't really live life during these times. So I watched this show.
No, I'm just. Okay.
So I watched this show last night called it's on TLC.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I already don't like where this is going.
So it's called Extraordinary People, Conjoined Twins.
Colon? Extraordinary People,
Conjoined Twins.
Meaning that this is an ongoing series of extraordinary people. This happens to be the subgroup, Conjoined Twins.
Correct.
Okay.
That is exactly what's going on.
That is how grammatically that title works.
Yes. They had these 2 conjoined twin girls on, 18 years old.
And is it episode by episode, or is this the series?
It seemed to be like that was their episode of the series.
Meaning that the next episode would be about a different pair of conjoined twins?
No, it was a different,
extraordinary person.
I could talk, yeah, so the next episode was about the world's smallest woman.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
So they had these conjoined twins on, 2 18-year-old girls. who live in Connecticut.
They would both be 18.
They were both 18, correct.
Yeah.
Same birthday.
Same birthday. That's crazy. What are the odds? Okay.
They have these two conjoined twins on, and they're like, our life as conjoined twins is different than everyone else. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'm with you on this.
Yes.
And they're like, it's even more different because we're Mexican living in the U.S.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, let me break something down to you girls. When you walk into a room, no one's thinking, look at those Mexican girls over there.
No, I would not. I would not say that would be the first thing that people notice about that. And what was their explanation? What were they just like being Mexican in the U.S. is harder than being?
That's what they were inferring. They were like, you have no idea what the struggles we have as Mexicans. And I was like, I think that's not the thing we should focus on this episode.
Yeah, it's not extraordinary people from Mexico.
Conjoined Mexican twins. Like, they spent, it was an hour-long episode, and they spent like 15, 20 minutes about how one of them learned how to drive because the other one couldn't really do it. And they spent 45 minutes of that episode talking about the laws of how they're staying in this country. And I was like, listen, we know what's going on there.
Yeah.
They're like,
sort of. I would say I sort of I have like an idea. But yes, okay. All right.
They were like, we really want to stress how Mexican we are. And I'm like, I just want to see you guys run. Yeah, like that's what I'm watching this show for.
I want to see you talk about the title of the episode more.
Right. I want to see you be conjoined twins.
Yeah.
They're like, the only reason we're in this country, we're on a year-to-year visa for health purposes, and we have no idea when that will expire. And I was like, okay, as long as you're like this, I feel like you're safe. I feel like you're good.
I just love the idea that they're signed on and they're like, okay, we're doing an episode about conjoined twins. We want you to be there. Did you say being Mexican? Okay, great.
I'm not going to do this show about being a conjoined twin unless you talk about my heritage, because that's absolutely ridiculous how I should be labeled by what I look like. And they're like, well, it's kind of alarming.
Okay, and also
it's kind of alarming.
And also, nobody said that you couldn't talk about your heritage. And they're like, okay, the entire episode. And they're like, okay, if that is your go-to, okay.
It would be great if the episode was called "Extraordinary People, Mexican Twins."
and then
you turn on the episode,
and then by the end of the episode, they're like, "Oh, and by the way, we're actually conjoined." And then they only talk about being conjoined twins. They say nothing about their Mexican heritage. It's only about being conjoined twins. And they're like, oh, okay, we're really ships in the night on this one. Okay.
It would be even better if in the next episode, if they get one, they're like, we took our citizenship test.
One of us passed.
And only one of us passed. No. And now they're trying to navigate how to go about this. It's just an ICE agent, and they have to follow them on the border. They're like, you can only... This is it forever.
It's an ICE agent who shows up only getting the dossier of one of them. And then he shows up and he's just... Oh, no, this is a pickle. What are we... Now, I was not expecting this. Hold on. Hold on. Let me...
The ICE agent,
hold on.
He just looks at him. He looks at him for like 7 minutes. Yeah. And then he slowly just pulls out a saw.
He shows up. He shows up and looks at them and he's like... Now, do you guys have any extra information on this? Like maybe some sort of video that you have done about your heritage? I'd like to learn more information about what's happened. They're like, boy, do we have an episode from TLC for you. Do you have 45 minutes to an hour with commercials? Okay, extraordinary people, conjoined twins. That's wild.
It was absolutely wild. And they went to a lawyer, and the lawyer was like, I don't fucking know what to tell you. And they were like, I get that's the struggles of being Mexican. And I was like, this isn't what you advertised.
No.
This isn't what you advertised at all. I thought this was going to be fun. I don't watch these shows. Like, I watched this show, My 1,000-Pound Sisters. Do you watch this show?
You know what? I have a hard time with shows like this, and I'm just putting it on the record right now. I have a hard time with shows like this because my instinct is to be a bad person. My instinct is to whatever the topic is. I think whenever I'm in an uncomfortable situation, which I think the filming of these things is inherently uncomfortable.
Yes.
I don't think that there's anybody who goes, we're all in the comfort zone here, and we're all going to be very cool about this, and there's certainly not going to be any topics that we broach where people are going to be like, what is happening right now, right? When I get uncomfortable, my instinct is to make jokes about it.
Yes.
To diffuse it for myself. That does not make me a good person to watch it along with. Right. And if I'm doing it alone, I feel like I'm eating a bag of potato chips of humor. It's just like, I just feel like very gross after. I'm just like, oh, oh God, I'm really just diving deep into here. But anyway, let's talk about My 1,000-Pound Life.
Right. Well, that's exactly what I'm getting at with all these shows. Yeah. It's that I think TLC, they're advertising these as like, we want to show the struggle of these people.
It never comes across that way.
But like,
or sorry, it does. But sorry, continue.
But like, no one's watching. So there's a show, My 1,000-Pound Sisters, where it's two sisters who collectively weigh 1,000 pounds.
Yep.
Now, I understand that I should feel sorry for these people.
Yes.
But when half the episode is them rolling into a van because they can't pick up their legs, I laugh.
And there it goes. Like, if I'm laughing, I can gauge it right now. The next 5 minutes will be majority uncomfortable laughter, which is still funny to me, but it's also, I'm uncomfortable at the idea of like walking out of a Target and turning right, and I see a person who weighs 500 pounds rolling into a van. That is like an immediate combination of that's funny and I'm uncomfortable.
Out loud.
It is.
Funny.
It is. I would laugh without looking at it. I would just, looking at the situation, I would immediately look at it, register it, and then walk this direction, laughing as loud as I could, like, so that I don't want to make them feel bad, but at the same time, it's just so funny.
Exactly. I could watch these shows with volume or without volume, and it's the same show. It doesn't matter. It's hilarious. I always watch My 600-Pound Life. It's one of my favorite shows because it's these 700-pound people going to the doctor, and the doctor's like, in a month, you have to lose 40 pounds. And they're like, gotcha, 40 pounds. They come back a month later, and he's like, you've gained 104 pounds. How? And they're always shocked. They're fucking amazed. They're like, how did I get... But I've added a tomato to my diet. And the doctor's like, yeah, but you can't. But you also ate your dog. Did you eat your dog? And they're like, well, dogs have protein.
I put a tomato on it.
Yeah, I put the tomato on the dog.
Put the tomato on the dog. It was a salad. It was technically a salad.
They're like, so I weigh 700 pounds, and I live in Lexington, Kentucky. And I went to the doctor in Houston for my weight loss surgery. They couldn't fit me in any cars or trucks, so they strapped me to the top of an 18-wheeler like a mattress and brought me to the doctor. That's why coronavirus.
An 18-wheeler.
An 18-wheeler. They strapped them up to an 18. The 18-wheeler couldn't even fit some of these people. So they strap them to the top of the 18-wheeler.
People. How accurate? I have not watched this. How accurate is that impression?
So in reality, they'll get like a SUV or a van and take all the seats out of it except for the driver's seat and put the person in it. Yeah, these people are huge. People think the coronavirus outbreak was the start of outdoor doctor's visits. Nope. It was My 600-Pound Life because those people can't fit through the door. Where else is the doctor going to see them? It's either in the parking lot or a zoo. But which one would you like?
But see, here's I want to know like the behind the scenes truth of like TLC's strategy behind these shows. Like, do they sit in a room and go, we're empowering, we're engaging, and we want to depict this thing that's happening to person X, and then another person goes, yeah, but also it's very funny. It's also like, I want to know the person who's like, yeah, but can we edit it so that it's just a wild ride that people will go, this is beyond empathy. This is beyond like feeling sorry. This is just like, that's the craziest thing I've ever seen. There's so many bits from there where I just go, what emotion are you trying to make me feel? And I feel like TLC sometimes goes, it's kind of, it's beyond our control. Some of it is just so insane.
So that's what I think they want you to think.
Is that it's all empowering, inspiring?
Exactly.
You think that's they're not out there to make a joke of these people?
No, that's exactly why they're making these shows. That is to a T, but they want you to think they're empowering these people.
Okay.
But in reality, like
that's my question. Is like how much of it is like, because they can't, as a network, ethically they can't go, we're making fools out of people with disabilities.
Yes, but that's exactly what they're talking about in their meetings.
Yes, right, exactly. Like, can we, if a banana peel fell on the ground on their way to the doctor's visit and they happen to fall, how do we make that appear empowering, and at the same time we make them and they slip on the banana peel? That's the marketing meeting. That's what I'm picturing TLC going, how do we make this seem like they're great, but at the same time this is wild?
Yeah, this is how I think a TLC meeting goes. I think they're like, all right, we need more content. Anyone have any ideas? And then someone goes, thought you'd never ask. All right, listen to this fucking bullshit I saw. All right, I'm in.
Is this the senator?
The senator also works for TLC. The senator,
listen, I was watching The Sopranos yesterday, and he put a tomato on the gabagool. All I'm saying is...
That's exactly what happened. Do you know the show My Big Fat Gypsy Wedding?
I know it, but you know what? I have watched an episode, and I've watched one episode, so I feel like I've watched 3 seasons. Is that about right?
If you see one episode of My Big Fat Gypsy Wedding, you've seen every episode of My Big Fat Gypsy Wedding.
Yeah. I happened to watch the one that I thought was a little extra spicy, where it was like the wedding didn't last the night, where they've ended the marriage before the party was over. They got married, and then the husband got into a fight with a bunch of her family, and then stormed off with what I believe was his new girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then she was left alone, and the wedding, that was it.
Yeah.
It sort of did cut away. So I was like, oh, that was a roller coaster of a... do a lot of them end like that?
Yeah, it's basically every episode. You've seen every episode.
Okay.
It's the guy, they're like, he's 22 years old and has 4 kids. He should act better. Right. And then he's like throwing beer bottles against...
better.
He's just throwing beer bottles against his house.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm fucking...
Yeah.
He's like, the problem is, like, I've been arrested 19 times for theft.
Yeah.
And then people discriminate.
Yep. He has a hard time pronouncing it. It's not you.
This is the character. This is the character. This isn't me. This is the character.
He has a hard time with discrimination.
Right. And then the girl's like, okay. First of all the girls get their dresses designed by the same woman in Boston.
Which it looks same woman in Boston, and it always looks like an IED went off in like a cotton candy machine.
That's hilarious. That's exactly what it looks like. And then every episode, they take it out of the truck, and the person announcing it's like, this dress weighs 4,000 pounds. And it's like this little anorexic, too tan girl. And she's like, it's beautiful. It's fucking gorgeous.
They always love it. That's my favorite part. Is there's never a bride who has the awareness to be like, this is a bit much, right? Does it have to have this many frills? Like, does it have to go all the way up here before it comes back down? Like,
right.
What?
She's all frilled out, and then they go to the wedding, and the groom's there, and his fucking button down. He got at Kohl's, and he's just there. He's got a cross tattoo on his arm with rosary beads, and he's like, I love fucking Theresa Murray. I love her so much. I will cheat on her after this.
But that doesn't stop me from loving her.
But it doesn't matter because we got 17 kids already together. We're 9 years old.
We're just sort of locking this down. I don't really know what we're doing here.
Right.
That is a perfect example of TLC going. That's them not even trying. That's them not even going, we're here to empower the gypsy community. Because the fact that they even refer to it as the gypsy community is like, do they refer to themselves as the gypsy community?
The show's called...
No. Does the gypsy community... Yeah, do they refer to themselves as gypsies?
Yes, and there's a whole, like, bunch of types of gypsies. And they go into, like, the different types of gypsies.
I just wasn't sure if that's, like, is that a term that we're slowly moving out of, because I could understand if they went, we don't really prefer to be called gypsies anymore, and they're like, nah, it's Big Fat Gypsy Wedding, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, until they're like, well, fucking gypsies, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
It's basically Jersey Shore meets what was it called, that MTV show, the Backwoods Show?
I
can look it up.
I'm thinking of Duck Dynasty. That's where my head went.
No, because Duck Dynasty has money. What are the? It's basically Jersey Shore meets Swamp People.
Okay, yeah, actually, that seems right.
That's a pretty good description of the show.
Yeah, and it's like gypsies feel like the culture where it's like, why, like, no, the fact that TLC has a show like that is just a testament to being like, you can say whatever you want. Like, there's no, like, why, what, who are you? Can you offend? Can you offend? I don't know what you... Like,
as long as you put a show on TLC, you can make fun of whoever you want.
That feels like the show where they're going, we're not trying to empower at all. We're just trying to show how insane the gypsy community is.
Exactly. This is what I think a TLC meeting is. It's just people. Yeah. It's them going, we need content. And someone goes, yeah, so, okay, listen to this. I was in JC Penney last weekend. All right? There's 2 fucking dwarves over there. and there's 2 dwarves. Listen to this. They got 3 dwarf kids.
That is exactly. I have a feeling that they just call up a manager of a JCPenney's and they're like, you see any crazy shit? They're like, let me tell you. Hey, how much time you got? I said, two sisters come in, both weighing 500 pounds. All right, sold. Sold.
They call every Stop and Shop, and they're like, we want you to write every name of every person in a Rascal scooter that enters your store. We will pay you $1,000 a person. Please do this as soon as possible.
Okay, so this guy came in, and he bought a white button-down, and apparently that is his suit for his wedding. And they're like, all right, done deal.
Get his name now.
Get his name.
Yeah, so I went to the fucking dermatologist office last week. Listen to this fucking bullshit. A guy there with a camo hump in his back. Put a camera in the room when he gets it taken out.
Yeah, is that Pimple Popper? Is Pimple Popper TLC?
I love Pimple Popper.
I cannot. If you were to say top 3 things you would never want to see on TV.
Oh, I watch every episode.
Eye surgery.
Yes.
Eye surgery. Dental work and cyst removal. Those would be my top 3 things of, like, I mean, medical field in general. I don't want to see that shit. Like, those are like the top 3 if you were like, what your least favorite things you'd want to see on television right now. I think Pimple Popper would be number 1. No, eye surgery is the worst.
It's one of my favorite shows, Pimple Popper. I absolutely love it.
I don't get it. I don't get the appeal. It's like an unboxing video for pus.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's the grossest
I like
thing.
it. I can't describe why I like it.
That feels like when they pitched it in the room, the guy who normally has those ideas was like, the fuck is wrong with you, dude? They were like, all right, so you know a cyst, right? And then he just like pulls off his shirt and he just has a giant one. And they're like, all right, so you know cysts, right? I got this lady out here who's willing to just like, she's got a lovely personality. I assume she seems like a very charismatic.
She's very nice. She's a very nice woman. Yeah,
woman.
she seems.
She's willing to stick a knife into my neck to get this out. What do you think? Is that a show? And everybody's like, sure. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
The president of TLC is like, all right, listen, we got 11 shows about midgets right now. We got to
diversify our portfolio.
We got to diversify the portfolio. What should we do?
Yeah, and the Duggars are out. The Duggars are out.
What are they doing?
The kid didn't he molest somebody?
I think he molested someone.
Yeah.
There's so much going on with that
I'm sure it's not going to be a retraction for next week, but it will probably be like, it's been so long There's so many things that have happened since then that I just can't.
Right. We probably said, yeah, he raped someone, and he was like, that's good. Let them think I raped someone.
Yeah, exactly, because the truth is far worse. Right. The truth is far worse than what I did.
That is pretty good.
I believe he molested. You know what? You know, as much as it pains me, I don't want to accidentally spread some hot gossip about the Duggars. You know, even though they probably have it coming. You know, it's just the most wild family that I've ever.
What show are they from?
The 12 and counting or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
that's the one where they
yeah.
just keep having kids. It's just more and more. Just bring it on. Bring it on. It's like the John and Kate with I guess it's
with full white
Christianity.
People.
They're like very religious, right?
The Mormons, aren't they? I assume if you're that big of a family,
there's enough here to warrant a Google. There's enough here to warrant a Google.
You want to retract? Let's save it for a retraction for next week.
Oh, okay. Save it.
Save it for next week. We'll do a retraction for next week, or maybe we don't have to.
So yeah, no, I was gonna say let's just throw one big asterisk mark on there. You know, it's just TBD, to be determined. TBD. What happened to the Duggars? Yeah, I can't. There. Yeah, the whole like big family, movement of TLC, the John and Kate.
That's how they started.
And then little family with
little people, big world.
Little people, big world.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of a video game that I played called Little Big Plan.
Yeah, same size, just different show,
but different format, different media, right. Different media.
Right. This isn't interactive.
Yeah. So TLC. So you've been watching.
I literally watched.
So where do we start this? What were you watching at the top?
Extraordinary
Life. Extraordinary People. Okay, TLC.
Yeah, I mean, that was only... I really don't watch much TV. That was just an hour and a half of what I watched last night. And then it went to Extraordinary People, the world's smallest woman, which is that little Indian woman. She was in American Horror Stories.
Yes.
She's in Guinness Book of... Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and will not stop talking about how she's part Irish. Throughout the episode.
The whole
episode.
She's like trying to do an Irish accent, and I'm like, exactly. Oh, she won't get canceled.
Yeah, exactly. She won't get nope. She's got she did a 23andMe right before the episode came out, and they're like, let me talk to you about it. And they're like, we'd rather talk about how you're the littlest person in the world. And they're like, nope. That's my assumption.
She's like, I like to talk about how I knit scarves. That's what I would like to talk about. Please don't focus on my height on this episode. And
I will not be taking questions about my size today. We will only be talking about my DIY videos.
That's how she gets on HGTV. She spins it off onto there. And then she like the episode's about her in the U.S. and she's visiting her talent managers, and it's this gay couple that lives in Pittsburgh. And I'm like, oh, so no one's doing well here.
Right. Wait, there's so much information just came at me. I'm just realizing, like, she's an actress. Is she an actress?
She was in American Horror Story,
right?
And then that's how
is that her career?
Like, launched her acting career. If they didn't bring up any other acting work she's done,
well, you know, I'm sure it'd be limited.
Right, but they made it seem like she was now this A-list. It's like her and Timothy Chalamet just like hobnobbing. Just like the world's smallest woman.
I like the idea that it's like after American Horror Story, she made it all the way to Pittsburgh.
That's what I thought was so funny. Where it's like she's visiting her talent managers, and they don't say where they're from. And it's like this gay couple, and I'm like, oh, so they're in LA. It's like this.
You took one look of their front yard, and they're like, that is not LA.
And then they're like, we're going to take you to the best pizza place in Pittsburgh. And I was like, oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
I feel like they still persecute gays in Pittsburgh. I was like, oh, come on. We couldn't even get to, like...
Yeah. Pittsburgh is known to me. No one's ever said this to me, but my feeling of Pittsburgh was always like, it's the most famous city in Pennsylvania that you never want to go to.
Right.
That was always my takeaway. It was like, I think my mom always went there for business, and I think it was just the travel of it, but she'd always come back just being like, I had the worst fucking time in Pittsburgh.
Of course.
I've been there once. It's actually a great city. You know, like, it's fine. It's a fine city. It's, you know, like, it's no Albany. You know?
I was going to say, we talked about how Albany sold itself on the Erie Canal.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's like, we got 3 rivers.
Yeah, we got 3 rivers.
How about that? How many places can you name that has 3 rivers?
A lot of hills. We got a lot of hills.
Pretty fucking good.
Yeah. Hey.
The football stadium's next to the baseball stadium. How about that?
Hey. There are reasons for you to come here.
Could I not name all the reasons? River 1, River 2, as well as River 3.
River 3. A Boston accent? You doing a Boston accent for Pittsburgh?
There, it's all the Jersey Senator.
Yeah. He's the tour guide for Pittsburgh.
Yeah. This guy's got a lot of jobs.
He's also both of the gay couple as the talent managers.
Yeah, they're the talent managers.
He just keeps walking out of the room and coming in with a different pastel sweater on. Oh god.
And then on the little woman, they also had this woman who's 6'8", and she was also on American Horror Stories. I don't know her name. I would tell you her name if I knew.
Yeah.
And
she
she's like,
withhold the name.
I'm gonna withhold the name. You could do your own research.
Yeah, exactly.
And she's like, you know why I love her? This is the tallest woman talking about the smallest woman. She's like, you know why I love her? It's because we both know where each other's coming from. And I was like, not even a little. Because she was trying to say, like, how we're both radically different sizes. And I'm like, yeah.
Okay, yes, I will say that. But what?
I'm like, you also realize you're holding her in the palm of your hand as you're saying this. You do realize that.
And I think if you tried to flip the roles, it would not be quite as even if you stood on her little hands.
Right. Right. They went shopping, and the world's tallest woman was like, do you like this handbag? And then the other girl was like, I can't even hold a handbag.
Yeah, exactly.
I fit in handbags. What are you talking about? I don't even know how to react.
Yeah, exactly. How do you see us as relatable? I would love it if they asked her the same question. They're just like, what did she say? She said that I get where she's coming. She has no idea where I'm going.
You know, the producers were there like, you can't even write this. You can't even write this stuff.
You cannot write this. This is going to get us the next season of this. This just got it for us. Speaking of Little Woman, I watched Little Women. I watched the movie Little Women.
Okay.
Up top, I will say it was great in the sense of like I liked the story of it. I don't think I can get behind like old timey like settings. Like There Will Be Blood is one of the only movies that I can watch that's like old setting. Have you ever seen that?
There Will Be Blood. I don't watch movies.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I probably should.
But Little Women's like oh god, I don't know the name of it. It's four women who are living their lives in like old times. It's the up top, and it's Timothy Chalamet's in it. There you go. That's
so hot. God,
that's your full review of the movie. So, and you know what? I'm with you. I was watching it, and every time he got up, my eyes widened a little bit. I was like, okay, hey, all right, I get it.
Did you see the world's smallest woman just wobble in the scenes, like just trying to get her IMDb numbers up, just like. You know what must be tough for being the world's smallest woman but trying to be an actress? Like, you can't just get bit parts. It's like you can't go in for the role as waitress as the world's smallest woman.
Of course. It's like, I wonder if there's something where there's like a moderately smaller person who's like not as small, and like they're all in like a casting, you know, these smaller people, and they read the script and it calls for a very, very small person. And she just looks at it and she's like, oh, well, there it goes. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm very, but I don't know if I'm very, very, very. Nah, that's her. That's her angle. That's her kid. That's, you know, it's
the call sheet asks for a dwarf, and she goes in there in heels. She wears lifts in her sneakers, and they're like, listen, hun, you're not fooling anyone. And she's like, what are you talking about?
Wait, is she changing her voice?
No, that's her voice.
Okay.
It's like extremely high pitched.
Oh, okay.
But also about this show, the producer was like being really a dick to her.
What?
Like,
what do you mean?
So how does like intimate relationships work? And
what?
She was like, look at me.
Yeah, how do you think it works?
Right. She's like, I haven't grown since
Yeah.
I was 18 months old.
Use your eyeballs.
Right. Does it look like I have tits? Does it look like I have tits?
Here's my takeaway from TLC, and this is a shame. This is a shame on TLC. Talking about it inherently leads to making fun of it, and I don't think it's just us. I don't. That's my like takeaway. I think regardless of who you are, you sort of walking away with like, regardless of who you talk about it with, no one ever goes like 100%. That's so brave.
Right.
Everybody goes, they'll say like, that's so brave, but wasn't it wild how she doesn't even have like a boyfriend or anything? Like, that's so crazy. Or like how hard it is for her to do like XYZ. Like, it goes from immediately like, you're like, oh, I feel good because I'm like kind of supporting her by like watching this thing. But at the same time, you kind of collect all the stuff that you're like, that's fucking so weird. And then you just kind of laugh at them. And it's like, it's kind of like a well edited, like the circus thing. Like it's like fucked. It's kind of fucked up. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of a really like
They're
like convoluted of the performances where they're like the bearded lady and stuff.
They're
like
casting it like a freak show.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like really like I think that's why I'm so uncomfortable by it.
There's a show, and I'm sorry, I don't remember the name. It's about little people. It's a couple that's little, and they adopt little children.
Okay.
And I'm blanking out on the show name. But
I think I've seen it on Hulu. I think I've seen like the promo art. Yeah.
They have a freak show museum in Coney Island, and this little
And they still call it a freak show?
the museum's called the Freak Show Museum.
That's wild. Okay.
And they go there, and it's a little person, and he does like a freak show for them, which is really like magic tricks, but he's just a midget.
Yeah.
And at the end of the show, he goes, "What's your feedback?" And the father goes, "It is disgusting that you are using your body and who you are physically to make money." And he's like, "We're going to leave."
Come on, camera crew.
And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, do you not realize you're doing the exact same thing? You think people are watching you because they're interested in your life? You're a plumber.
Yeah. Nobody's signing on for the let's see what that plumber's up to today.
Right.
Let's see what that plumber's doing.
Exactly. No one's watching you because they want to see what it's like to be a plumber.
Yeah.
They're watching you because they want to watch you reach things.
Yeah.
That's why this show is a show.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Like it's so fucking wild that TLC constantly gets away with like this idea of like we're empowering. Like empowering, but at the same time, it's like, well, no, you just took the same structure as this, and everybody's like, regardless of if they're being honest about it, they're sort of walking away with the same level of like judgment and like, oh, that's so weird, or like they're still kind of like having that same brain response to it of like, that's unusual for me in my world, and you're like comparing and contrasting for an entertainment purpose. That's all that these shows are. Like what you were just talking about, the Conjoined Twins. Like even that, like the intention is to be like, you should be more entertained by this. And that's why we're softballing in all these sort of like quirky aspects of that, like all these wild aspects of it, and not so much like it's actually wild. It's actually cool how they live their life.
Right.
That's so low on the bar for it. I think that, so that wasn't funny, but that, I'm glad that I got to do my trashy Red Bull.
That was good. You real classed it up.
Classed it up. I love it. Okay.
All right, that was a good app. All right,
Good
team. We'll see everyone. Well, you're going to still keep listening because I'm releasing all these at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Pound the subscribe.
Pound, like, and subscribe. Fuck, I should have said that in the beginning of the episode.
Exactly. Boom, boom, boom. I'm on it. He's not. Let's go. What is it? We're here to what's the thing I said in the first episode? Destroy, ruin the thing. Talk about things that you love that we know nothing about. There's definitely a quote that I was like, we're gonna repeat that.
All right, we'll have to listen back on the first episode.
Yeah, let's get one of those. We're gonna redaction. Okay. Bye.
Bye.